This is a Sports Catastrophe production. Hey there, hello there. It's Jeff Cutter Diamond welcoming you to another Sports Catastrophe birthday boy. There's no on this day because nothing happened on January 13th. I know it was my brother's birthday, but he's not a sports fan, so screw him. Anyway, this is a hockey goalie, a legendary hockey goalie. You know, as a goalie myself, I like to think about goalies. Anyway, he played for the Winnipeg Jets / Phoenix Coyotes, Chicago, Tampa, and Edmonton. He won 2 Olympic medals in the Winter Olympics, gold and bronze. He was the best goalie of the 2002 Winter Olympics. He was the first Russian goalie to ever win the Stanley Cup, doing so for Tampa in 2004. And actually, before Andrei Vasilevsky, he was the only Russian goalie to start in the finals. He's a 4-time All-Star. His name, Nikolai Khabibulin, the Bulin Wall. Khabibulin was picked in the 9th round of the 92 NHL draft by the Winnipeg Jets. Okay, that's fine, because Russian goalies tend to not do so well in the NHL. So anyway, he actually played with a touring team that toured North America called the Russian Penguins. Why they were called the Penguins, I don't know. Anyway, by the start of the shortened 1995 season, he was on the Winnipeg roster and being their star goalie. After all, you can't rely on Tim Shovelday or Bob Essensa. Anyway, Khabibulin did well. I know in 96 that the Jets moved to Phoenix. However, Khabibulin's Game 5 performance against the Red Wings in the first round of the 96 playoffs was huge because it got Winnipeg a third and final home game in the series against the Red Wings. Even though the Jets lost, at least Winnipeg got a send-off. Anyway, in 5 years with the Jets Coyotes franchise, he started 60 games 3 of those seasons. A heavy workload for a goalie. Unfortunately, the first round was not kind to Khabibulin at all. Mostly because he was fatigued from playing in too many games, and, his goaltending sucked. However, in Game 7 of the first round against the Blues in 1999, he went mano-a-mano with Grant Fuhr. Unfortunately, the Coyotes lost on a tip-in goal by Pierre Turgeon in overtime. Khabibulin was in a bitter contract dispute. Probably wanted more money because, he was playing 70 games a year. So he went to the IHL, which was a minor league system before the AHL took it over. And he was good. He was the league MVP. During the 2001 trade deadline, the Coyotes had enough and decided to trade him to Tampa for Mike Johnson, Paul Mara, and a few other wannabes. Khabibulin signed a contract with Tampa and said, you know what, I should play for Tampa. And he did. He actually played for Tampa and did well. He played in the 2002 NHL All-Star game and actually had a third period. He came in, played that 20 minutes, got 20 saves, didn't give up a goal. The World All-Stars beat the North American All-Stars 8-5. Everyone thought that Khabibulin should have been the All-Star MVP, not Eric Daze, especially with Eric Daze being playing for the losing team. But MVP voting happened with 5 minutes left when the North American All-Stars were winning. Regardless, it doesn't matter. Khabibulin would help Tampa in 2003 get to the playoffs, helping Vincent Lecavalier, Martin St. Louis, and Brad Richards lead the Lightning to the playoffs. The Lightning had not been in the playoffs since 1996, their only appearance in the playoffs. Tampa won the playoff series for the first time in their history, beating Washington thanks to a triple overtime goal by, I can't remember, MSL, Martin St. Louis. Tampa lost in the second round, but who cared? Tampa was much better in 2004. They were the best team in the East. They romped through their opponents, the Islanders and the Habs. Although the Flyers gave them pause in a 7-game series in the Eastern Final, they got to the Stanley Cup Finals against Calgary. Canadians wanted Calgary to win. Americans wanted Tampa to win. Khabibulin had 5 playoff shutouts, 3 of them against the Islanders. But Khabibulin wasn't fatigued like he used to be because his backup, John Graham, was a pretty good goalie, so they could afford to give Khabibulin some games off. So anyhow, Khabibulin was pretty good for the Tampa Bay Lightning. And yes, we all know Tampa won the Stanley Cup in 7 games over the Flames. And yeah, of course, we all know about the whole bullshit about Margellina's goal. or no goal as it were in Game 6. But anyway, he was still pretty good. He played in Kazan, Russia, for the Russian Hockey League after, well, when there was the NHL lockout. As the NHLPA got the new CBA, Khabibulin was a free agent. Chicago decided that because he won Stanley Cup the last season, they needed to sign him. So they signed him to a 4-year, $27 million deal, making him the highest paid goalie in the league, almost getting $7 million a year. Unfortunately, his time with Chicago was not that good. In his first season with the Blackhawks, Chicago was second to last in the conference. And worse for Khabibulin, he couldn't wear his trademark 35 because that was Tony Esposito's number, so he wore 39. Anyway, the Hawks in 2008 decided to sign Cristobal Huet to be a goalie. And a lot of people said Huet would be replacing Khabibulin between the pipes and all that. Huet was signed to a contract averaging $5 million a season. Like, honestly, you spend that much. And they thought Khabibulin would be traded to provide cap space. But he played all the years. He was part of the 2009 playoff team that got into the playoffs. They got to the Western Finals against Detroit, but Detroit got to him. And Khabibulin was suffering a lower body injury, so he didn't play for the rest of the Western Conference Finals, and Detroit won. So he was done for in Chicago. Edmonton decided they needed to sign a goalie, so they went with Khabibulin for 4 years, $15 million. Not bad. Edmonton made a good move. Unfortunately, his first game as an Oiler in Calgary was a mess, as he tried to pass the puck, but he mishandled it, and David Moss of the Flames scored the winning goal. And unfortunately, Khabibulin in the 2010 season got hurt. He had a herniated disc in his back, so he had to miss the regular season. Unfortunately, after the injury, he ended up being 10, 32, and 3 in the one season. Like, honestly. However, he bounced back in October 2011, posting a 5-0-2 mark. But by the second half, everything fell apart. And in the 2013 season, he was basically the backup to Devan Dubnyk. But Khabibulin found his way back to Chicago. He signed a 1-year, $2 million contract to play for them. He would be the backup to Corey Crawford. But Khabibulin was injured and all that. The hip injury in November 2013, he was put on injured reserve, and the strong play of Ante Ranta, who was brought up to Chicago, meant that Khabibulin decided to retire. So he decided to. So Khabibulin was good and all that. Khabibulin helped Russia, or should I say CIS, the Commonwealth of Independent States, because, the Soviet Union kind of broke up during the 92 Olympics, to the gold medal, being Canada. He was actually the third-string goalie. So the CIS/Russia won the title. However, Khabibulin didn't get a gold medal, as Viktor Tikhonov, the legendary coach of the Russian side, kept the gold for himself, refusing Khabibulin to have one because he didn't play in the tournament. Coaches and management are not awarded medals in Olympic hockey. And a lot of people said that Khabibulin didn't want to play for Russia because of this whole bullshit. Right. Oh yeah, he won the gold for the 92 Russian/CIS teams and all that. But anyway, with the gold medal conflict resolved, Khabibulin was the starting goalie for the 2002 Winter Olympics. He looked pretty good for Russia. Sadly, though, Russia would lose in the semis to the Americans, who then lost to Canada for gold. But he was named the best goalie. In fact, he was given his 92 Olympic gold medal in a private locker room ceremony during the Winter Olympics. Khabibulin did play for Russia in the World Cup of Hockey '96. And was supposed to be in the 2006 Winter Olympics, but he was injured. So Russia's starting goalie was Gino Novikov. So anyway, Khabibulin has a wife, has a daughter who's the wife of a Zurich Lions forward, Robert Nielsen. So anyway, he played in 4 NHL All-Star games, 98, 99, 02, and 03, 2004 Stanley Cup champion, the wins and shutouts leader in the 2004 playoffs for goalies. Tied for the most shutouts in the playoff round 3 when he took down the Cupcakes 3 times. And of course, internationally, he won a gold medal in the 92 Olympics and bronze in 2002. He would play 799 games, missing the 800 game mark. 333 wins, and it goes against the 272, 46 shutouts, 39-31 in the playoffs. Anyway, he had a good career as a senior goalie for Russia, and they needed one. God forbid. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. I do.